Welcome to Midwest Hunting Outdoors by Two Dumbasses. In this episode, we're going to be doing an assembly of Mix-On Exit 25-gallon sprayer. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Tim and Joel. Welcome to Midwest Hunting and Outdoors by Two Dumbasses,
A podcast about the outdoors, hunting,
and being a steward of the land.
Hey guys, welcome to Midwest Hunting Outdoors by Two Dumbasses. Hey, in this episode, we're going to be basically assembling this sprayer that I bought off Amazon, and I'm going to be basically following right off the instructions, but hopefully this is helpful to you guys. So a quick thing that it's supposed to come with is hey, I've got 4 machine screws and then 2, I'm going to call them self-drilling plastic screws that come in here, so a total of 6. It's also supposed to come with a worm gear clamp, and I call that a pipe clamp, and I know I have it, so you just have to trust me. I know it's here. So a pipe clamp. We also need to have a wand clamp, so we have that. That's right here. We have to have a drain cap with lanyard, so that's what that is. A loop clamp, so we have that. Lead wire assembly. I do not see that. Oh, that's this. This is the wire harness. And then it's supposed to come with a wand sprayer. So I do have the hose, but I have no wand assembly. So it's gonna, I just got off the phone with warranty, and they're gonna be sending me a wand assembly kit. So more to come on that. It's got a pump, 2.5 gallons per minute. It's got an external bypass that's sitting right over here, and a flow directional valve, and that's this here. That's this here telling me are we going to put it to a spot or a boom. So I did buy a boom with this kit, but for this video we're not going to be attaching that. So more to come on this. So we're just going to assemble this this sprayer. So the first step is to fasten the pump. This diaphragm pump, and these are all rubber mounted, so it's that's super slick. And what we're going to do is line this up with the wires and everything, the long end facing outward, because it doesn't tell us that, but I'm believing that hey, we're going to need that extra room to assemble this tank. So that's what we're going to do. Another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little red medium Loctite to this, just to make sure this thing doesn't come loose, and that's our next step. Okay, our next step is we are going to be installing, let's get the right name, external bypass and flow director valve. So the first thing we do is you've got these little slide gates right here with these caps, and these caps are in here just to prevent any contaminants from getting inside the pump during shipping. So you just pull this back, and this thing will pop right out. I haven't determined if I'm going to keep these yet or not. And then so these quick releases, this directional valve, you have to push this in, and these sometimes take quite a bit of force. And if you get that in there just right, I push that in, and I've got it sitting at slightly an angle. So what we're going to do is, you see I've got a bit of a lip right here, so you can't put that on there straight up like 90 degrees. You have to turn it just a little bit, put that in, and you hear that seat in, and then you've got this little slide gate, and you push that forward, and that's now locked in. The external bypass. So we're going to do the same thing. I've got these red caps out. and we are going to push this in. All right, on this little bypass valve on where it's got the boom or the spot sprayer, this little slide gate was really tough. I had to really wiggle this around to get it so where I could shut that slide gate flush, but they are supposed to both be flush with the housing. So just as a heads up there, you might have to wiggle this just a little bit. I took this off just so I could put pressure on it because it was bugging the heck out of me. But we'll put that back on there right now. Tighten that up. And also here it's got the mixes on what the setting guide's going to be, and that's coming right over here. So one of the things I would tell you is you probably ought to take a picture of that so that you have that as a handy. I'm going to actually zip tie this. It's got a piece of wire on it, but I'm going to zip tie it just to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. These are those red caps that were in here. Again, these were just used to seal these. I don't think you're going to need to keep them. I'm leaning on not keeping them, so just a heads up there, that's what I was referring to. The next step is to attach the wand clip. We're going to do that same thing, and we're going to attach that right here. And so that's the opposite side of installation from the pump. This is all plastic, so it doesn't have a metal insert like I had up here, so I'm just gonna snug it up. I put a little Loctite on here just to help it. And again, we're just snugging it up. We don't want to strip it. So my other wand clip is right here, and it's got a little loop on it, and that's for us to secure with our little belt here for our mix. So this one goes to the right, and it's exactly across from the pump. So we're going to put that on, and as you've been seeing, I've been using just a little bit of Loctite to help us with this. Get just snug enough. Our next step is to attach the hose to the diverting valve. So our diverting valve's over here on the other side by the pump, but we have to feed this through here just like this first. So when we go to fasten this to the bypass valve right here, you have to have this clamp on, so we're feeding that in through here. But we're also going to need to have our pipe clamp, or they call it the worm gear, and it's a pretty good snug little fit. And then what we're going to do is tighten that up. Nut driver would be a good tool for this though. Alright, so that's attached. So I made a little small mistake here. This loop clamp that they wanted us to insert, they wanted us to put that in here and fasten it. It wasn't super clear on that's what to do. So I'm going to put that in there now, and we'll basically just snug that down. So that's what I'm going to do next. So the next step in assembly is really assembling the wand, but as I mentioned earlier, I did not receive a wand. So, but I've done enough of these to where you basically are just you're gonna get basically a stick. You're gonna put this in. It's gonna have an O-ring. You're gonna seat that in and assemble that accordingly. So we're just gonna skip that part for this video, but that's such a minor part. The next step is hey, we put the lid on. I've got a drain plug here in the back, which is this last piece here. So we're gonna assemble that. And then the very last piece is putting on the concentrate tank. And essentially it goes something like this. It's got, I can already see a little issue here. this here, this little hose, is going to interfere with us putting that on there a little bit. I'm not liking that at all. And we followed the instructions on how to assemble that. And that is not what we're gonna do. So it had us feeding this clamp or this hose right through here, and that's not gonna fit. Is I'm going to wire this right here. I'm going to wire it right here on this back one. It's going to go over the top. I'm going to try to give it enough space so that I'm not putting any undue pressure on here, but that's where this is going to go, and we'll be out of the way of putting in our chemical tanks. Okay, our next step is to attach our concentrate tank, and really slick little fitting here. It's really just a quick disconnect, which is what you'd hope for. And you just basically put this in here, and it turns, and you're good to go. I would tell you how they have some of this put in here is a little wonky, but conceptually this is pretty slick. So that's pretty sturdy. And I've basically just taken this hose and fed it underneath the lid so that you can see that. Again, I see this is going to be a potential wear point. We'll see how it plays out. This is certainly solid. And then lastly, how this is going to end up being coiled up and put someplace to where we're not putting pressure on this system, which is plastic. So we'll see. Okay, so all in all, I would say the instructions for this Chapin mix-on exit is not too bad. It went together pretty simply. I would say, hey, stay tuned. Let's find out how this baby performs. I'll do a review after. I'm gonna plant probably 8 acres this year, and I need to be spraying those yet, and so I might even start with that tonight. And stay tuned to our podcast channel and see how this baby performs. And if you like what we do, subscribe to our channel. Really helps. Until next time, be safe, have fun, and get outdoors.
Desperado, sitting in a old Monte Carlo, a man whose heart is hollow.